ClimAlpTour is a project that has involved the entire Alpine arc, from Slovenia to the French Savoie region. Inserted in the Alpine Space Programme 2007 to 2013, it aims to evaluate the effects of climate change on mountain tourism. Among the 26 case studies, Valle d'Aosta participated in this project by conducting a survey of 2 pilot sites, Valgrisange and the Monte Rosa area, consisting of the towns of Gressenay-Saint-Jean, Gressenay-La Trinité and Ayas, under the coordination of the Regional Department of Tourism, Sports, Trade and Transports and of the Regional Department of Land and Environment, with technical collaboration of the Fondazione Montagna Sicura of Courmayeur. The latter specifically coordinated the work on environmental data, starting from the selection of indicators, which led to the identification of 24 parameters. An in-depth analysis was carried out on the 2 pilot sites in relation to snow, avalanches and glaciers, essential to understanding climate change. The Department of Transports instead managed the economic and touristic data that was collected. For the part involving social research, the work was coordinated on behalf of the Italian Ministry of the Environment by the working group from the University Ca' Foscari of Venice, which deals with the effects of climate change on the social-economic system. So that the results of the studies would be comparable, the partners agreed beforehand on indicators and work methods to be adopted. The study began in autumn 2009 with the collection of all the information necessary to define the current situation, the result of an evolution that has been analysed since 1975. Two types of data were taken into account: objective data from documentary sources and subjective data taken from interviews conducted with stakeholders, locals and tourists. The documentary data reflected 3 main groups: environmental parameters, information relating to tourism, and transportational and economic data. This resulted in the development of charts that describe what happened over the past 35 years, and a picture of the regional touristic offering. Subjective data, reflecting only the present moment, were collected in 2 different ways. On the one hand, by conducting interviews with a large sample of administration workers, socio-economic workers, tourists and residents. On the other hand, by conducting a conjoint analysis aimed at identifying the expectations of potential tourists for their alpine vacation. The intersection of this objective and subjective, historical and contemporary information has allowed a set of indicators to be established which offered a snapshot of the situation, useful in the later stages of the investigation. Now the researchers of the Venetian University have been involved and have put their DSS, Decision Support System, at the disposal of the project. This system is able to perform multi-criteria analysis to determine the most effective and sustainable adaptation strategies. This method consists of comparing the data collected and making a number of remedies that results in an analysis able to provide information on the strategies to be applied to achieve the desired development. These correctives were identified in a participatory way. Stakeholders, locals and tourists, always chosen at random, were invited to participate in some workshops, during which a moderator asked them questions about the development potential of regions under study for the next 20 years, without losing touch with reality. Once again, technology came into play, because the feedback from the workshop was computerized, and this process allowed researchers to conceptualize the best-suited evolutionary perspective according to the cost-benefit relationship. A tool thus that could be useful to administrators, all of whom, for various reasons, are called upon to take strategic decisions for the development of the territories. As regards the territory of Monte Rosa, the project results have indicated three possible strategies. The first aims at intensifying the exploitation of opportunities for sports and recreation deriving from the high altitude, and therefore all types of skiing plus mountaineering and hiking. The second focuses on promoting the cultural heritage, intending by this term everything pertaining to the reception and production at kilometer zero, meaning that producers and consumers are near. The third was called Three Valleys, One Name, and aims to improve transport and trade to favour a seasonally adjusted annual tourism. When software was applied to these three strategies, it indicated the second strategy to be the most appropriate, as it allows workers to situate the safeguarding of the regional heritage, in the broadest meaning of the term, within a touristic reception and welcoming that is respectful of the environment. Regarding Val Grisage, here too, three strategies emerged from the workshops. The first involved the development of supply linked to local traditions and products. Val Grisage has in fact a rich heritage in the textile industry, with production of the famous draps, and in dairy production. The second was to increase the offering related to the practice of winter sports, skiing in particular, while the third suggested focusing on nature and relaxation, placing greater emphasis on the offering geared towards families. The first strategy was found to be the favorite. In both pilot sites, a fourth strategy was also proposed, maintaining the current situation. It was not a winning proposition. After the work of technicians and researchers, the phase of presenting the results to the population began. Two separate meetings were held, in Val Grisage and Bar, the latter dedicated to the pilot site of Monte Rosa. During these meetings, the results were presented and discussed.
I risultati che sono emersi sono alquanto interessanti sia per Val Grisage che per Monte Rosa Ski e hanno a che vedere con la valorizzazione degli aspetti più culturali, più soft del turismo in contrasto rispetto al, per esempio, lo sviluppo intensivo dello sci. Per Val Grisage emerge la necessità di puntare sui fattori culturali come ad esempio il drap, l'artigianato, la presenza di borghi come Sourier e Fornay e appunto il turismo familiare prima di tutto. Si tratta di orientare lo sviluppo nei prossimi anni verso alcune direzioni piuttosto che altre. Monte Rosa Ski è già molto ben presente per quanto riguarda lo sci intensivo, ma deve puntare a migliorare alcune cose molto importanti, cruciali, come ad esempio la mobilità, la connettività tra le tre valli che compongono il comprensorio e ad azioni che migliorano la qualità di vita stessa delle popolazioni residenti, perché bisogna tenere le persone in montagna, bisogna curare il territorio in modo tale che anche la fruizione turistica ne possa beneficiare.
Alla fine questo lavoro non si è concluso con un coup de théâtre, ma erano già consapevoli durante i vari workshop di quale direzione stavano prendendo i lavori. Credo che il metodo di partecipazione li abbia colpiti particolarmente proprio perché gli ha consentito in maniera un po' più ordinata di vedersi ognuno, di mettere sul tavolo le proprie idee, le proprie convinzioni e vedere poi alla fine come cercare, da un processo divergente, inevitabilmente, cercare di arrivare comunque a un risultato comune per non disperdere energie, idee e tutto il resto.
Le indicazioni credo che siano state quelle innanzitutto di avere una forte consapevolezza del futuro rispetto agli effetti del cambiamento climatico, quindi rispetto a questo ineludibile scenario il fatto di considerare questi effetti come delle opportunità a cui rispondere inventandosi anche delle prospettive future. Quindi dal punto di vista dell'assessorato all'ambiente si è piuttosto soddisfatti, in quanto da un lato noi siamo chiamati a continuare ad investire per costruire una conoscenza in merito ai cambiamenti climatici, quindi che effetti sulla risorsa acqua piuttosto che sul sviluppo della vegetazione eccetera. Dall'altro però anche sostenere e definire delle strategie di adattamento al clima, appunto a queste variazioni, e ancora poi a non abbassare la guardia in relazione alle politiche di lotta al cambiamento climatico. Quindi queste indicazioni credo che siano emerse proprio dallo studio.
What is the specific evaluation to be made regarding transportation?
Sicuramente il trasporto collettivo, soprattutto nelle realtà nelle quali i numeri sono elevati e quindi la congestione arriva ai massimi livelli, i trasporti collettivi possono essere giusta risposta per evitare code, inquinamento, disturbi vari quando ci sono i picchi di affluenza, in realtà che tutto sommato hanno una struttura delicata, non hanno ampi spazi, tutto si gioca in fondovalle dove le ristrettezze sono quelle tipiche del nostro territorio.
The results of this project, ClimAlpTour, are especially important in terms of the participatory approach applied, which made possible, for the first time, a collaborative comparison of the different positions of administrators, socio-economic players, and citizens tourists. This is a method available to all communities interested in replicating the experience of the pilot sites, without having to make a large investment.
È la metodologia che è importante, cioè appunto il discorso di coinvolgere le popolazioni locali nel dire una parola su quello che sarà il loro futuro e il futuro delle loro generazioni.
A future made of careful choices and thoughtful investments.